Hey y'all, it's Trinity, and in today's video we're going to be going through some tips for college, so be sure to stick around if you want some good tips. So this video is going to be broken into three main sections. The first one is going to be like general college advice for academics, social life, whatever. The second section is going to be specific to music majors because I'm a commercial music major at my school, and the third section is going to be stuff specifically Liberty University. Or in general Christian colleges. Some of it might not be very specific to Liberty, but it's definitely specific to Christian universities or Christian students. So hopefully that helps you a little bit more. Hopefully at least one of these sections will be applicable to you, but feel free to watch the whole thing. There might be something in one of the other sections that still speaks to you. So yeah, let's get started. And I am going to be doing my makeup during this video, so excuse the bare face. Although I'm low-key, why am I low-key cute today? Is the skincare routine finally working? And I say that because like I never do my skincare routine. All right, so to get to know me a little bit more, so you know where my advice is kind of coming from, I'm about to be a sophomore at Liberty University. So I already did 2 semesters. This will be my 3rd semester, and I'm graduating a year early. So some of these tips may come from that perspective for reference. But yeah, so you can trust me. I have a 3.96 GPA. I was valedictorian in my high school, so I'm good with academics. I have friends, so you don't gotta worry about that. So if this, hopefully that kind of makes you a little bit more comfortable, so you know that like I know what I'm talking about when I give this advice. It's not just coming out of my butt. I swear. I low-key do not have any notes for this video. I'm gonna be kind of going off the cuff, thinking of things that are a little bit more niche, because I feel like I know when I was getting ready my freshman year, I feel like all the videos I saw were the most basic, like, and be sure to like go to events and don't like stay in your room. And I feel like although that advice can be helpful, it's just kind of basic. So let's get like the annoying like basic stuff out of the way. I would say first thing, yes, if you can keep your door open. I know some colleges you might be a little bit more nervous to keep your door open because there might be like a mix of men and women on your hall. At my school, I'm in a dorm that it's only women in my building, so like I don't feel very nervous to like leave my door open. But honestly, like leave your door open, knock on people's doors, like talk to people as much as you can, especially those first few weeks when people are like low-key scared. Especially at my dorm, it's mostly freshmen. Hold on, I'm like, oh, there it is. I was looking for my eyebrow gel. But I know especially at my school, on my dorm, a lot of the people that end up at the dorm are freshmen, which can be really fun if you are also a freshman, because people are a lot more willing to like come out they're freshmen because everyone's a little bit scared. And I feel like even the newcomers, they'll be more than excited to like welcome you on the hall. So open your door, make friends like as much as you can the first couple weeks, because by the time you get closer to the end of the semester, most people already know people. Doesn't mean you can't make friends near the end of the semester. I met people in like November that I ended up still being friends with in the spring, and there are people I met the first week of August that I did not talk to in September. I do highly recommend that you try and make as many friends as you can near the beginning. I think also another like kind of basic advice that you hear in like literally every video is to like go to events, things that your hall might host, so you can meet the people in your hall. Or for my school, also meeting people at like your brother hall if you're at a school that they have kind of that situation. Like at my school, a lot of our dorms are only men or only women. Some of the things are like there's a hall and it's like men and women are technically in the same building, but they're still separated. Especially if you want to like meet people of the opposite sex, like go to events, go to your hall events, that type of stuff. And I would say like the last like really really basic thing would be to like meet your RAs and like be friends with your RAs. Like don't be like kissing up to them, but like don't like ignore your RAs. Like your RAs are awesome, and like they were literally hired to be there for you. They're getting paid to be a helpful person, so you don't really need to be scared to talk to them. I know some RAs are definitely really strict. I've had a pretty good experience so far. We'll get more into that when we go into like my section that's more specifically about Liberty, because our hall leadership is a little bit different. But in general, all colleges have RAs, and I highly recommend that like you pour into the people that are on your hall as hall leadership. Get familiar with them. I'm not doing my usual makeup routine because I need to be able to take up some time. So I'm just gonna do some fun eyeshadow. And by fun, I mean not just the sparkle in my corner. But I low-key forgot I was like actually gonna do makeup until I saw my palette. So that's why I'm not doing it in the usual order I would do makeup in if I was actually doing eyeshadow. Say another thing more specifically about like moving into the dorm, try and get there as early as possible. I feel like something people say a lot too, but like legit, come as early as you can for move-in. And also, like, if you have a roommate, most people do have roommates, but if you have a roommate or roommates, try and like stack your move-in time so you guys aren't all coming in at the same time, because that is so much more overwhelming for you all to be bringing in all your stuff at the exact same time. Try and like kind of stack it, like talk to your roommates. Hopefully you've talked to your roommate at this point. This video is going to be up in August, so hopefully by the time you're seeing this video, you either have already moved in, so this won't be applicable, or you're about to move in and you have already talked to your roommate. If you haven't already, contact your roommate. If they haven't responded to you, email them again, text them, do whatever you can to get in contact with them, because I promise you, you don't want to have issues because you didn't communicate from the beginning with your roommate. I would say another thing, and this is more applicable to freshmen, don't like override your dorm with a bunch of decor that like you aren't gonna use. Like get decor of stuff that like of course you like there's no shame in like if there's a cute little flower pot that you like, getting that for your dorm, but try and also make sure that your decor can also be helpful to you. So for example, I do have decor, like I do actually have a flower pot that I'm gonna have on my desk, and it's like fake flowers because I like there to be like an element of life. My last room, she had like a bunch of plants in the room, and I felt like that was like really like helped the room feel a little more lively. But I'm not good with plants, so we're gonna be doing a plastic one. Sorry, microphone. Hopefully that didn't mess up the audio. Because I'm not good with plants, I'm doing a fake one. But also all the rest of my decor, like I have a lamp that is actually functional and actually works well, not just one that's like cute but like low key is going to like blow out the light very quickly. Or like for my jewelry, I like my jewelry to be displayed because I have a hard time with like using jewelry if I'm like not seeing it all the time. I just won't wear them. Like I'm pretty much fully packed. I don't even think you see that. Those are my like half of my, not even half, like maybe a third of my stuff is right there. And I would say like majority of it is not decor stuff that I actually need, and the decor that I have is stuff that can be hanged up and displayed and also used. So try not to get things that are just to look pretty, get things that like you can actually use functionally. I don't even know if you can tell, but I colored in my waterline. I cut those parts out because I know some people really don't like that. I would say another thing for freshmen is like really don't overpack. Like if you're nervous that like you're not packing the right things, look on Pinterest and literally look up the packing list, and I promise you most of them are going to be really accurate so that you don't overdo it. Because I feel like my first semester I brought so many things. I'm bringing a lot of stuff this semester, but I also only have one roommate, and there were things we kind of had to coordinate because we didn't both have everything. But I got lucky because the girl that I'm rooming with, she's about to be a senior. She's so freaking awesome. And I'm not too worried because she had a lot of the stuff that we already needed. So it was like a lot of like easy things like a broom and dustpan that I had to get, and like a mirror, those kind of things. But like coordinate with your roommate so that you don't have double of things, and also like see what your dorm comes with. I know at Liberty some of the dorms have refrigerators, so like you don't need to buy a mini fridge. In fact, you actually can't buy like a second mini fridge since it's already provided. Look at what your dorm already provides, and then also look like, for example, if you have a shower and a bathroom, like you might want to prioritize getting that type of stuff versus like if you don't have a living room, getting a couch. You know what I mean? And also like make sure that you're checking the dimensions. I can't tell you how many things that people bought and then couldn't use because they didn't check the dimensions of the room, and things that like were too small or too big. So like make sure to double check like everything. I would say this is a more niche thing, but if you're a freshman, see if there's any college ambassador programs that you can attend. Freshman or like upperclassmen, be sure to see like what college ambassador programs you can do, free things that you can get as a student. See if there's like deals on Target, deals at Walmart, anything like that that you can do to like maximize your savings. Because let's be real, the broke college student life is so freaking real, and you don't want to get to school and then realize, oh shoot, I have no money. How am I gonna buy all these random things that I need? And that goes to my next point, which is like be prepared to like set some money aside, whether it be from like your job or if your parents are giving you an allowance. I have heard of people getting that. Be sure to set some of your money aside for things that you're going to need to get when you get there the first week, because I promise you, the most amount of money that I spent the entirety of my 2 semesters was move-in week, because there were so many things I didn't realize. So my phone had the audacity to turn off in the middle of me talking because I didn't have any more storage. Apple, I know I have enough storage. Don't even play with me. But anyway, I think I was talking about how there's so many like expenses that came up that I like didn't realize. Because I promise you, you will go through all those lists. You will think you have everything you need, and I promise you, there will be at least one thing that like for whatever reason you opted not to get in the beginning, and you'll be so annoyed and you'll need to spend that money. So I recommend setting aside at least a little bit of the money that maybe you made over the summer, or money that you got in a scholarship, whatever. And speaking of scholarships, this is more applicable to people that aren't freshmen, but like, don't stop applying to scholarships. Look up what you're eligible for. Never stop applying to scholarships. If you're doing a master's degree, keep applying to scholarships. I promise you, there's at least one thing that like isn't due yet that you can apply to. I think another more cheesy one is like, don't be afraid to be yourself. Like, oh my gosh, I can literally hear everyone in the comments being like, Trinity, my mom's told me that already. You don't have to remind me. But like, legit, like, don't change your style in college just because of how other people may perceive you. Don't be afraid to like go to certain like um events or clubs or whatever just because of how other people may perceive you. Like, it is not that serious. Do what you like and you will find your people if you just interact with the things that you like, dress what you like, do what you like respectfully. Live your life. Don't live based on like how other people feel. Maybe that was more specific to me, because I know when I first got at my school, I was very tempted to like basically change my whole style to like fit in with the culture, because everyone dressed so nice. Everyone kind of scared me about like what to expect at Liberty, and because of that, I like really neglected like the things that I like. Don't do that. Do what you like. Be who you are. Do what you want to do, what you want to. You know what I mean? That concludes my freshman segment. So now we're going to be getting into more specific tips for music majors. I don't have a ton, but in my experience, keep in mind I'm only about to be a sophomore, junior in the spring. I'm like slightly off, but I'll be a sophomore starting in the fall for simplicity. Let's not complicate things. But I would say like one of the bigger things I can say, especially for people that are going into their freshman year, play the piano. Start playing the piano like now. Like, do not neglect practicing piano. It doesn't matter if you're music ed, if you're going into music production, if you're going into literally anything music related, you're going to take piano. It's a requirement at like all good music schools or music programs. You should be playing piano like now. Like, actually, while you're listening to this, I better hear you playing sonatina, because like you're not going to be ready. And I went into college like knowing how to play chords, and like I was kind of learning how to read sheet music, but I was not ready. And that also gets me into like watch like music theory videos, watch oral skill videos, or musicianship is what they called it at my school instead of oral skills, or oral, because people always get on to me that I don't pronounce it right. Get a head start on those things, like not to scare you, but like you're going to be in for like a life slight crisis, and you're going to feel like you are not enough, but you are. And I think one of the ways that you can kind of get into the curb of not feeling like you're so behind, even though you aren't. Most of the people that go to these schools literally have no freaking clue what they're doing. But I still highly recommend that like you go in with like a little bit of knowledge. I know at my school we had to like do a little bit of a test. It wasn't a test to get into the program, but more a test like to see where everyone was at in music. Helped like the music theory teachers kind of know the level of the people that are coming into the school. After, if you have a test like that similarly at your school, I'm sure it's a thing. I don't really know though. I only know from Liberty's perspective. So if you're a commercial music student at Liberty, this will be more applicable to you. But we're gonna put on like 3 layers of mascara, so like don't highly recommend getting ahead of the curve. Watching those videos on music theory, you should know like where the notes are on the staff, even if you couldn't play it with like the piano, but like you should know like the acronyms. I meant like getting a head start on that, and like kind of learning like what the notes sound like, learning like what a chord sounds like. And if you're going in with a different primary instrument, you're still gonna have to play piano. Like, I do hate to burst your bubble, but like you're going to have to play piano at some point in your music career. If you're going in with something that's not piano as your primary instrument, though, my bigger tips, especially if you're someone that's voice like me, twin, don't like be hard on yourself that like you're not the best at your instrument or feel like you're in competition with these people at your school. Everyone's on a different journey and everyone's at a different skill level, and what you might perceive as not that good, other people are going to absolutely love. um Another thing, especially for music majors, your teachers want you to succeed. As hard as they are on you is because they want you to succeed. There are very few professors that get into it and hate young adults. I can't say the same thing about high school and under, but definitely like the professors, like they want you to succeed. Their paycheck kind of like requires you to like do decently. Another thing, especially for music students, like pour into those teachers. This is a more general thing. I don't think you necessarily have to be a music major to like get that advice that like you need to pour into your professors. Go to the office hours, um, go to the like for music majors like master classes, go to the stuff. I would say another thing with music majors is don't see your peers as competition. I kind of said that earlier, but like work with your peers. I know for my major, I am forced to work with people because I'm like commercial music and bachelor of science commercial music. It's a lot of music production and a lot of like working with other majors to make projects happen. So like don't be like scared to like network with the people in your building, whether it be students, professors, GSAs, staff, whatever. Network with these people. That's also partially why you're there, is to network with other people in your niche. Do you think that's enough mascara? I'm looking almost done with the makeup, so we're just gonna be talking. But yeah, I think that's really all I can think of for music major specific things. Um, I would also say another thing, especially if you're a voice major, but honestly, for any instrument that you have to put your mouth, any instrument that you have to use your mouth for, take care of your voice, okay? I promise you, it doesn't matter what university you go to, there are no frats at my school, and I promise you, you will still get the flu, you will get sick, your voice will disappear. So make sure you got honey in your dorm, and make sure you have a way to make tea. Put that water in the microwave. We are not British, okay? Put that water in the microwave and make yourself some tea. Lemon ginger tea. That's gonna be really important. I don't think you need to be a voice student to like know to take care of your voice. Also, there's a lot more like oral things, like for musicianship or oral, oral. I'm just gonna call it musicianship. That's what it's called at my school. But it's like ear training. But at my school, the musicianship, you need your voice for that. You're not playing piano very much, you're actually singing the notes. So even for that, you need to be able to have a voice, because it's going to be really embarrassing when you walk into your testing room with no voice and you end up not doing well on an exam because you literally can't sing the notes. It's really embarrassing. It's not like I would know. Don't be stupid screaming at concerts and parties when you know you got your voice lesson the next day. Don't even play. But yeah, for sure, taking care of your voice is one of the top things. But yeah, I think that's all I have for music majors. So let's get to the Liberty students. I love how as this video goes on, it gets more and more niche. So Liberty University students or Christian college attendees, this is going to be stuff that's a little bit more applicable to you. My advice is coming from like specifically Liberty University, but some of this stuff might overarch the Liberty bubble. And like I said before, I am a 4.0, well, not anymore. I have a 3.96 GPA out of 4.0, and that's because of like literally an Excel class. So like I didn't really care enough to get an 100 in. So I gotta be. And what about it? And what about it? I spent my whole entire high school stressing over school, so we don't do that around here anymore. A commercial music major, so I'm around that kind of area a lot. I'm in the music building pretty much all my classes. But I'm also going to be a RS at Liberty. So if you're a freshman coming into Liberty University, I just want to explain our hierarchy of hall leadership. So we have residential assistants, RAs, just like any other school, but we also have RSs, which are residential shepherds, which I would say for simplicity, I'm gonna take off my glasses because I don't like the fact that I can see my reflection. We have RAs, and RSs. I'm going to be an RS this upcoming school year at the hip. We do not like the shoe around here. I'm so sorry. I'm going to be an RS at the Hill. It doesn't take a lot of effort to figure out which dorm. So if you're gonna be on my hall, I can't wait to see you. By the time this video is out, I'll actually be on campus. So I wanted to make sure I filmed this before it was training week because I saw the schedule. There will not be time for this, and I don't want to annoy my partner with recording YouTube videos. A residential shepherd, which in my eyes, I feel like the easiest way to explain it to someone that's not going to Liberty or like brand new freshman is this like a spiritual RA. I think the only thing with that definition is that it gives the implication that like if you're not going to church, like we're gonna be like getting you in trouble. But like that's not exactly what I mean. I think but it is like a spiritual hall leadership position. um Hopefully I'll be able to like explain that a little bit better after my training's over. Hey, so this is editing Trinity. I did not explain that well, literally at all. So pause the video if you want to read this and actually know what the heck a resident shepherd is. I don't know why I was blanking the video. I really should have had notes. Bless. But like with a better definition, like what the school considers an RS, but it's basically like an equal position to like RA. And that is something that is only at Liberty. Like there's no other schools that have an RS position. There might be schools that are Christian that have a similar position, but they aren't called residential shepherds. Yeah, and we have bosses above us, but for the sake of like the people that are actually in your hall, you have RAs, you have RSs. They're like kind of like the people in charge, but like don't be scared. I promise you. Just don't be scared. And then under RSs specifically, so they're separate from RAs, we have things called CGLs, which are community group leaders. At Liberty, we have a thing called convocation and campus community, or convo and camp com. So if you hear those phrases thrown around, that's why, because that's what I'm used to saying. But basically convocation or convo is like the big thing that I feel like usually people see about Liberty, which is basically like the speakers that speak at our events. They aren't always necessarily Christian speakers or specifically speaking about the Bible. Sometimes they're political. Of course, they just have to be like that. They have people that basically speak on Wednesday and Friday during 10:30 to 11:30 a.m. basically. Camp Com, which are Wednesday nights. And they're like an optional like school-wide Bible study. And the CGLs and RSs are kind of like the people that are like in like over that. So we also have speakers come in during CampCom, but a lot of them are people that actually work at the school. So we have Jonathan Falwell, which is the school chancellor. He's kind of like a school pastor, and then there are other people that are over it that come and speak. But they're basically like the people that are in charge of like the school Bible study, and RSs are like they're the people that hire the CGLs. So CGLs are the ones that lead the groups after CampCom. If we're still tracking, hopefully you're tracking with me. This might be a little bit confusing, so if you have questions about it in the comments, I will be responding to them. Please don't be like scared to ask questions, because I'm telling you, when I got to Liberty, I only knew what an RS and a CGL and an RA and the kind of hierarchy was because I had a friend who was both a CGL and then was an RS the next year. So I kind of know a little bit more about the hierarchy going into it, but I know a lot of freshmen literally have no freaking clue. But yeah, hopefully that helps a little bit describing something at Liberty that it's not really advice, but kind of giving you an idea of the people that you have on your hall to pour into you and also like talk to. I would say the main thing at Liberty, especially because you have so many hall leadership people at your disposal, and I would like to mention that the CGLs, like they literally have specific people that are going to be in the group. So you are like assigned a CGL. You'll have your own CGL. You'll have 2 RSs or 3 RSs depending on which dorm you're on. And you'll have 2 RAs or 3 RAs, once again, depending on which dorm you're at. So you have a lot of people at your disposal to like talk to. And I would say my biggest thing at Liberty is you have to be like into it with your hall leadership. Like, don't be scared to talk to your CGL. Don't be scared to talk to your RS. Don't be scared to talk to your RA. These are literally people that were hired because either A, like RAs and RSs, the university thought they were good enough to go through that rigorous training. You have a lot of people at your disposal that are so excited to help you. And the university either decided, yeah, these people are like pretty chill. They went through like that whole week or like few hours, and like we think they should be like working on a hall. And then there are people that are hired by the RSs who the university approved, that are literally like being hired to be there for you. So don't be afraid to like go up to these people and like pour your heart out and like talk to them, because that is literally what we're here for. It's like the biggest thing, and it's something that's a little bit more specific to Liberty. Another thing at Liberty is being mindful of is like attendance. You will think that like I don't need to worry about attendance because it's just scholars. Like, no one's going to be on me. Yes, they will. You will get points taken away. Show up for class. Save your skips as long as possible. Save your skips for like the end of the semester, when it's things that like don't really matter as much. And it's not exam prep. Like, I had a class that like at the end, it was a bunch of lectures that weren't going to be on the exam. So I did use my skips for that. Save your skips. And be prepared to pay that $100 for Top Hat. Just buy it through the university, $99 for all 4 years. Do not pay for it by year or by semester. You will waste so much money. Pay for the 4-year plan. I promise you it'll come in handy. I would say a big thing at Liberty is kind of what I said in the beginning of the video, is making sure that you have that extra money set aside, because things like Top Hat, things like programs that you didn't realize you needed, little things here and there, like you won't realize that you need money for like these types of events. For Liberty students, is take advantage of all the programs that we have that aren't at other universities, whether that be like the RSCGL stuff, things like Scaremare. That's an event that a lot of colleges like don't have. Things like Delight Bible Study, all those different things. Take advantage of like all the different programs and events that we have that are more specific to the college, because like you can do some of these events like while you're still in high school, but a lot of these things are like more specific to Liberty University, and I highly recommend taking advantage of those things. You will make so many friends. Next thing I would say is, I don't know if this is as applicable for other colleges, but at Liberty, a lot of these people are so sweet, so inviting, so nice. Don't be afraid to like start a conversation with people. That could be general college advice, but especially at Liberty, like don't be afraid to like open your doors for people or talk to people or knock on someone's door and start a conversation. Like, please do not ever be scared. I think, because I feel like there's a lot of advice I can give to Liberty, but some of the stuff is like, I don't know if it's too obvious. So if you think of something in the comments, please feel free to let me know down below, and I will try my best to answer it, whether it be general freshman stuff, music major stuff, or Liberty University tips. I would love to help however I can. I love helping people. So please feel free to ask me questions in the comments or DM me on Instagram, especially if you're going to be a Liberty student. I will follow you back if you have LU in your bio. I would say another thing at Liberty, or in general, if you are a Christian going into college, I think, especially at a Christian college, it can be easy to like have convo and camp com and like feel like, oh, I have enough things, I don't need to go to church. Go find yourself a local church. Don't be afraid to like pour into a church and like volunteer. And a lot of these churches are on the CSER registration portal, so like don't be scared to like do CSER through a church. That's a great way to get involved. Actually, one of my roommates last semester, I had two. So there's one that had plants, and the other one, she actually volunteered at the church that she wanted to attend, and she did that for all of her CSER credits second semester, and it worked out pretty good for her, and she got integrated into the church by doing that. So I highly recommend, if you're looking for a CSER that's kind of easy, doing like something related to a church like hospitality or children's ministry is a great way to get involved. But yeah, don't feel like you're gonna get churched out. Like, please go to church. Go, even if it means you have to go on your own. I recommend going with friends, but like if it means you have to go by yourself to try out a church that you really like, don't be afraid to do that. You will find your people. God will like make a way for you and make it so like those people will come to you. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you liked it, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, or comment down below, all of which would be so awesome. And be sure to stick around for my next video. Be sure to give me some suggestions. I really want to like do vlogs again. I think I might vlog my move-in day, because my roommate won't be there a lot of the time, so I would not feel as like invading her privacy if I'm recording. So let me know if you'd like that or anything. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.